The 2024 Royal Rumble is the next premium live event in the WWE calendar, the first pay-per-view of 2024 as a matter of fact. So today, I'll be breaking down my most likely returns, 5 for men and 5 for women, returns in the Royal Rumble match. Now, this is purely just going off my opinion. They could either be unsigned, they could have been previously released, however they're coming back, they could be off TV for one reason or another, or they couldn't have just been seen for a very long time, or I believe they'll return in this match. Starting off the list for the women is by far the most rumoured person to return in the entire Rumble, both men's and women's. Sasha Banks, she's known as Mercedes Moné everywhere else. She's appeared in many different promotions since leaving. I do think this is the perfect place for her to return. Now, look, could she be controversial? Yes. Did she walk out without reason? In my opinion, no. It was perfectly justified. However, this whole dispute about her not being paid enough, in my opinion, I see her talent. I know how good she is. They should do it if they want it, if they desperately want her. The way AEW is going, how they're signing everyone, I do believe if Triple H doesn't act on this and she doesn't return at the Rumble, she's definitely going to AEW or Impact to join Naomi, otherwise known as Trinity. Now, just imagine if she runs into any of her other 4 horsewomen. Charlotte, it's not possible because she's injured. Becky or Bayley, just running into them would create a moment in time, and this will definitely generate buzz. It'll be good for WWE. Hence, that's why I believe she will appear in the Rumble. This might come as a shocker to some people, but let's show some love to NXT, seriously. Now, when you're searching up the definition of improved in wrestling, look no further than this woman right here, a shining star in the making, Tiffany Stratton. She could potentially be in the Final 4, hell, make a runner-up. She would be a shining star in this Rumble. Now, loaded with potential, insane classics all throughout 2023. I've seen that Shawn Michaels has faith in her for running NXT. Triple H might have faith in her on the main roster. She could be a very, very solid pick, and one of the final entrants that steals the show in this match. Show some love and appreciation to NXT. Let Tiffany Stratton be in this match. It could definitely elevate this entire match. Hell, even the entire damn pay-per-view. Number 3 on this list will be making her in-ring WWE debut if she appears. A lot of people's favourite to win if she does appear, Jade Cargill. Now, an AEW original to this point, has appeared at Fastlane and a couple of SmackDowns teasing something with Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is gone with an injury. I hope she gets well soon. However, with Charlotte out of the picture, I do think Jade Cargill could quite possibly appear at the Rumble. It's not much speculation as people really do think she will appear. However, I do have one other pick who might be a solid choice to win. Now, if Jade Cargill appears, do I think she's going to win? It's possible. It is definitely a possible thing. However, if she doesn't appear, there's loads of directions they could take her in. But I do think she's a solid choice to be a pick to return at the Rumble. Number 2, Liv Morgan. This is the person who I think will return, and if she returns, I wholeheartedly think she could win the Rumble this year. Now, storytelling-wise, I think it's perfect because last year in the Rumble, Liv Morgan started at number 1 and 2 with the future winner, Rhea Ripley. At this stage, Rhea Ripley is the Women's World Champion. If Liv wins, I want to see her and Ripley go at it at WrestleMania, and I want to see Liv win. And if she appears, I would love it. Now, Liv has the full capabilities of going the distance. We saw it last year. She wins, I'll be very happy. And that's why she is number 2 on my returns. And finishing out the round for the women in the Royal Rumble surprise appearances, if you cast your mind back to a few years ago on NXT, she's actually appeared in WWE previously. Deonna Purrazzo. As of right now, she's not signed to AEW or any other promotion. And I do firmly believe she'll return in the Rumble. She has potential to be a main event star if signed by WWE. She could be a future multiple-time world champion. She could be on the levels of Charlotte Flair if they put faith in her. Deonna Purrazzo is a phenomenal wrestler, and I do believe she, like Tiffany Stratton, could be in the final 2 if they let her be. I don't think they'll let her win the Rumble, but another solid showing for the women. Yeah, about that last entry, we need to address the fact that Deonna Purrazzo just got signed to AEW as of last night. This pretty much limits all her chances at coming back to WWE. Let's just hope Tony doesn't be too stingy about it and allows her to come to WWE for one night. Oh well, moving on to the men's list. Kicking off this list, and if Drew McIntyre's in this Rumble, you know this guy's got a personal vendetta against him. Sami Zayn. We've not seen Sami on TV for a couple months. This would be a perfect time for him to return. Hell, I could see them going the distance with this. Either he eliminates Drew, or Drew eliminates him, and we get Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. You know that both those guys are phenomenal workers. I could see this turning into a storyline. Would Sami Zayn win the Rumble? I don't think so, but a very strong showing as a return. Up next, we have to talk about a guy who's been away for a couple of months, but at this point, I think he's raring and ready to go to return in the Rumble. Bobby Lashley. Now look, the almighty gimmick has served its purpose. It's made him into a huge star in the last couple of years. Hell, it gave him the WWE Championship. Now, I don't really see him winning this Rumble. However, he could definitely go to Final Four at least. He's done some solid work with the Street Profits, and I'd love to see him back on our screens. Out of the entire NXT men's roster, I believe Bron Breakker is another valuable contender who needs to be called up at this point. He spent 2 years in the developmental brand, which honestly I think it's better than most of the main roster at this point. Could you just imagine him coming in at a late entry like 25, hell even the final entry at 30, and just spearing everyone present in the ring? Creates a moment, creates a shift in time almost, where I don't really think he could win the Rumble per se, but again, if he comes in late and eliminates the majority of people, it's once again a very strong showing. Up next might be the biggest shocker of this list by far. Corey Graves, I believe, who has recently been medically cleared to wrestle, could potentially appear in this Royal Rumble. Now look, I get it. He's taken time off to look after Carmella after they've welcomed their first child. I am more than happy for them. But if Corey Graves reappears, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is his first appearance in just over 10 years. This would be a great way to put him back on TV. Maybe not as a full-time in-ring competitor and back to commentary, but this would be a good way to craft his skills. Now look, hear me out. The guy rounding out my list is not even an in-ring competitor. He's not a commentator. He's the general manager of SmackDown. Nick Aldis, who recently has had a few run-ins with Roman Reigns. Could he win the Rumble? It's highly unlikely. However, if he appears in the Rumble, if Roman loses the titles anytime soon, I want to see Roman Reigns versus Nick Aldis. Just give it to us anytime soon. This guy is a legend in TNA/Impact. He has also won a title and held it for over 1,000 days. The storytelling is there. You just know those two will have chemistry. I want to see Nick Aldis in the Rumble, and he is the one that closes out this list.